Coming in hot at the last minute. This is way too high for me. Okay. Hi, everyone. My name's Grayson. I actually just had this poem come out in this magazine from Dublin called The Stinging Fly. It just came out like last month, and they just shipped, my copy finally arrived. I had to pay 1,500 krono to pick up my, well, first I had to drive to 108 Reykjavík, to the only post office that's still open nearby, and then pay 1,500 krono to pick up my own free contributor's copy of a magazine that published my poem. We love it here, it's great for poets. And this is actually a poem that I've been reading for many years. I wrote it in 2017, I think, or 18, I can't remember. And it's one I've been waiting a long time to see published, so I'm very excited to see it just come out finally. And we had a little warm-up with the Mary Oliver poem from earlier, because it is about foxes and vaguely about winter as well. It was part of a chapbook that is now lives in the drawer forever, as we would say in Iceland. Where I was doing translations, sort of interpretations of this old fox poem in Iceland, this old Icelandic poem. And in the poem it's about a fox and he starts describing his life, and in the middle of the poem the hunter arrives and a sort of chase ensues. And so this version of it is sort of like the history of Iceland, before and after the arrival of people, as told by the foxes. So it is called, appropriately, A History of Iceland as Told by the Foxes. A single drop of water, frozen, more drops. A sheet of ice. Over the sheet is a blanket of snow. A blanket of snow with a tiny footprint. More footprints. A blanket of snow with a hole in it, some blood around its mouth. A tunnel ends beneath it. A rock reaches out of the snow towards the sky. The sky reaches back, but they do not touch, not yet. A rock surrounded by more rocks, surrounded by water. The water comes and goes like the moon, like the sun, like the night, like the day. A rock surrounded by more rocks and less snow, less ice. Later, a rock surrounded by more rocks and less snow, no ice. This makes a beach. A beach that reaches toward another beach, and the other beach reaches back, but they do not touch, not yet. A cliff with a bird perched on it. More birds. A beach that touches a fjord that touches a cliff makes a coastline. The coastline touches another coastline. This makes an island. An island must be discovered. A cliffside fills with birds like the night with stars. A valley begins to grow after the snow stops growing, goes away. A valley of black fills with green like the night with aurora. A beach with a dead fish left among the rocks. Later, a beach with a dead whale left among the rocks, like a fish. A field where a blade of grass grows over a rock. A flower grows over it. More flowers. This makes a field. The field no longer has lemmings. A field with a tree in it. More trees. This makes a grove. A slope with snowfall coming and going. Another slope with a grove growing and growing. Another grove that touches a field, that touches a beach, that touches the ocean. An ocean that brings a storm. A beach with a large footprint. More footprints. A beach with a man on it, unlike a whale or a fish. He's alive. A field with a dog in it, like a man, but faster. A grove is where we forget to chase and where we learn how to flee. Then the groves are gone. A slope where a rock reaches away from another rock. Inside it is opening. This makes a cave. This is where we learn to hide. This is where we fail to hide, like birds in cliffs or stars in skies. An opening that closes up. It fills with fire, or we fill with hunger. An opening in the rock, some blood around its mouth. A tunnel ends beneath it. A tunnel with our bodies left among the rocks, like whales, like fish on the beach. A valley where the bushes are worn down to grass by sheep hooves. Later, the grass is worn down to dirt by horse hooves. This makes a road that must be crossed. A slope fills with sheep like the sky with snowflakes. Its legs are weak, its throat just low enough to make a feast. A yard fenced in. Dogs bark, fighting and feasting over one of our naked bodies. There's blood on every mouth. A shed that is covered with turf and filled with fish hanging. The smell reaches towards us, over houses, over mountains, over beaches, like the sky fills with wind. Later, a fish goes missing. More fish. A den that is covered with flowers, filled with our children squealing. The sound reaches toward them over the villages, over farms, over fields, like the sky fills with rain. Later, our child goes missing. More children. A field filled with flowers and giant steel jaws, waiting to snap at the touch. Some reach our legs. Others bite our bellies, spilling our organs into the bushes before the berries turn red. A valley that a gunshot echoes through, like the sky fills with fire. Some of us run. One of us remains. More of us. A shed with a pile of our skins in the corner. They take these off us, but they do not put them on themselves. A patch of dirt that is fenced in. We fight and feast on fish that comes through the links, climbing to the top like the sky fills with barbed wire. This makes a prison. A river that cuts through a mountain. It opens a new valley. A new child is born in the valley. More children. A valley must be climbed out of. A valley that fills with snow. There are large footprints. There are small footprints. A field that fills with trees again. This makes a new grove. More groves. A beach with a dead bird left among the rocks, like a whale, like a fish, like a fox. It could be a feast. Its wing reaches towards the ocean, and when the water comes in, it touches infinity.